they're honest. To be honest with you, I have more of a problem with the race traitors who pretend to be down with us. I have more admiration for the open, overt race treason of Kodak Black and who the other dude, Money Mayweather, than I could ever have for Barack Hussein Obama or Will Smith or Oprah Winfrey. These rich blacks who sell us out just as hard, but give us lip service, who set up these little hustle foundations. Those are the ones that I can't stand. And it ain't because of them, it's because of us. Because y'all falling for the same hustles, for the same okie dokes, for the same dismissals that been going on for 100 years. So when Oprah comes out with $1 billion and she opens a little rape factory in South Africa and call it a school, a little molestation palace, and she gets all these accolades. When many of these wealthy blacks extract more than they put into the black community. When many of these wealthy blacks are actually in service to our oppressors. They are actually conduits or tools set up by our oppressors. That they support the status quo above and beyond black liberation. So I'm glad when treasonous black people are open about their indifference to collective struggle, their open hostility to the working class and poor black people of America and the rest of the world. I appreciate the hell out of that. Thank you. Now I know that when Kodak Black, and they already trying to lock him up I think he's got a pending rape charge. I know when Money Mayweather squanders his wealth and he ends up with the ESPN documentary, how he blew all his money, I know they're going to come shuffling back to the community. They're going to rediscover their blackness. They're going to rediscover their roots. They're going to talk about how they were just, oh, I'm so happy. I'm glad I lost this money because now I realize what's really valuable in life. That's what they all say with their lying asses. And y'all going to believe them. And y'all going to rally if they face any injustice, official injustice from the system. Y'all going to rally for them. If they come crying crocodile tears after they squander their fortune and give it all back to the white people who paid it to them in the first place, y'all going to fall for it all. That's my problem. My problem is not about the treasonous individual. My problem is that there are no fixed protocols. There are no functional responses to race traitors. And the bigger problem with that is if we do not create any incentive to serve the interest of our people. Because we show the athletes and the talented and wealthy blacks who give us true loyalty, who give us true love, they get the same consideration and level of support and admirations as the race traitors. So if I'm like, why should I risk my health, my fortune, my well-being to struggle on behalf of my people when I see the people who betrayed my people get the same level of love, get the same level of adoration, get the same level of support when the system comes down on them? Why? Why should I? What incentive do we give our talented people, our black people of means? What incentive do we give them to fight with us? Not for us, but fight with us, to join with us. What incentive do we give them? And on the other side, what sanctions do we level against those who betray us? So this isn't really about, even though I appreciate what Kodak Black and Money Mayweather did, and I just wish Jay-Z and Beyonce would stop pretending to be benevolent. You know, Jay-Z and Meek Mill just started this, they said they're going to free 1 million black men from the clutches of the system. And you know, look into this. And if you look at what Jay-Z's platform, go look at the libertarian reforms. Go look at the Koch brother, Koch-funded prison defunding, prison reform, and privatization. Go look at the libertarian agenda and go look at how the right wing are trying to deregulate white-collar crimes and how the prison reform movement is being taken over. The prison reform movement is being taken over by libertarian white-collar criminals because they want to allow they want to do away with many high-level trade regulations, financial services regulations. And they think that they can say, well, locking up a black kid for trying to sell an ounce of weed on the street corner is no different than locking up a CEO who collapsed the entire economy engaged in toxic asset manipulation. It's the same, and we got to reform. So we want to free both of these afflicted people. Go look it up. I'm looking into it too myself, and it's just kind of frightening. So when these wealthy blacks are talking prison reform, the ultimate benefactors of prison reform will be the white-collar criminals. And they want to fully deregulate what few regulations are still put on the financial services, market, on banking. And then you have people like Prince, and not the Prince in purple, but the fascist international private military contractor. And you'll find that he has committed war crimes all across the globe, and he's a Christian conservative, but he lives in Dubai trying to duck the law. They want to reform the prison system so people like that, people like Donald Trump and all of his lackeys, Paul Manafort and Cohen and Roger Stone, so you'll find that this prison reform thing has been captured. This prison reform movement that's been going on since the late 70s in the black community, all of a sudden the wealthy blacks are on board. Because just 10 years ago, Bill Cosby and other wealthy, affluent blacks were all law and order and lock them up. But now the wealthy billionaire blacks are now, we got to reform prison. Don't trust it. And if you want to see how this kind of stuff plays out, you just go back 30 years. Remember Russell Simmons, who's also on the run from the law. Russell Simmons was going to shut down the Rockefeller drug laws. Remember when rich black people decide for themselves and to throw their money behind the people's struggle, but you'll notice that they don't bring the people on board? They'll come and put up $1 million for a movement, but all of a sudden the organizations and the individuals that have been fighting these issues for decades don't get a dime of that money because they're white accountants, they're white publicists, they're white PR agents, and their white managers come to them and say, okay, we're going to do this cause. You know, your colored people. They, man, I'm recentering myself. Oh, that's better. They come to them and they say, well, then they go off to these think tanks and they handpick the activists. They handpick the organizations. They don't come to the grassroots. So the people you saw now that Jay-Z and Meek Mill about to put their star power and their millions of dollars behind prison reform, look at the people that have been working on prison reforms in your community for decades. Watch how they get left out in the snow. It's another hustle. Like I said, go back 30 years and it was maybe it was 92, 93. That was about 30. Damn. Oh God, Lord have his mercy. I'm coming up on Social Security. Anyway, go back and look at the Rockefeller drug laws. And Russell Simmons said he's going to rescue poor black folks. Amara Inya. I ain't going to Amara. I'm sorry. Somebody asked me if I was going to Amara Inya's fish fry. Nope. I'm not going to her Mercury fish fry. Toxic fish fry for toxic politics. But no, I digress. Remember, Russell Simmons was going to save us from the Rockefeller drug laws. And at the same dude that was going to rescue us from the Rockefeller drug laws started doing, pyramid scheme hustle, the rush card and baby fat card. Got black folks tied up into these high interest rate, prepaid credit cards. Oh, it's so, and my thing is, if I was a rapper, if I had a wicked jump shot, the first thing you should do if you want to put your money up is do like Muhammad Ali did. Muhammad Ali went out to the scholars and say, okay, what can I do? And instead of coming to tell the people what they could do, they offered themselves up. They say, look, my platform, my money, my status, my talents, what will you have of me? What do you need me to do? Where do you need me to stand? It's just like LeBron James School. Y'all did the Holy Ghost dance for LeBron James School. Y'all, and then you go look at the board. You go look at the white woman who runs LeBron James charities. You go look at all the white academics and all the white, damn near half the students. Y'all thought he was doing something for black folks. And y'all saw it some old integrationist tax shelter. But I digress. I did a whole show on this called Celebrity Saviors and the Death of Black Leadership. Y'all can go get that show. It's in the archives. But again, when these celebrities self-expose, not that I think there's going to be any collective consequences, but shout out to Kodak Black, shout out to Money Mayweather, and I encourage all other rich black people. Yeah, I'll post some of those articles on the white libertarian conservative. I'll post that on my website, DialloKenyatta.com. Brother Adolfo's asking about, he wants me to back up my claim that the right wing is getting on board with the prison reform. So yeah, I can make that happen, Captain. What was I saying? Oh, I appreciate Kodak, I appreciate Mayweather, and I would like to encourage all contemptuous black elites, all of you superior, better than the rest of us black elites, to be honest about your contempt, about your indifference, about your feelings of superiority over the rest of us. Be honest about your true allegiance with the capitalist system and the white elites above the black sufferers. Please continue. Follow in the footsteps of Money Mayweather and Kodak Black. So when the people make a stance, come out and mock it. Tell the truth about how you really feel about it, how you feel these silly peasants need to learn in their place, how you don't follow. Please continue that trend. I hope that's something that keeps going. Now, as far as us dealing with it like we should, I can't speak to that, but at least I think it's a start. Moving on. This is crazy. This is a story that's trending.